Hey everyone, Michael Lombardo here from GlideFast Consulting. Today I want to talk to you about being the best ServiceNow consultant you possibly can. A lot of times people will come to me and say, "Hey, how are you so good? how are you so knowledgeable about the product? How are you so able to go into a customer who maybe doesn't know anything about ServiceNow, is completely lost. Maybe they've been using Remedy, maybe they've been using a legacy product, new to ITIL. They maybe recently went through ITIL training, and really to me, it's about commitment first. I mean, I've been committed to service management really since day one. Started out on the help desk, desktop support, help desk team lead. So really, I've been committed since day one. And then once I migrated, using some of these legacy products, you develop a lot of frustration. So when something like ServiceNow came around for me as a customer, I just, gravitated toward that and I never looked back. It was during my full-time daytime job, I'd be learning ServiceNow, going through pain points, going through, some, there's been frustrations, right? You think a best practice, especially when you don't have an expert there with you, telling you this is what you need to do with ServiceNow. Don't do this because if you're not going to be able to upgrade in the future. So, I didn't really have that expert next to me. So there was a lot of frustrations. And that's why I go into every engagement with that thought of when I was a customer, I didn't have somebody there. So I really try to be that expert and provide that guidance that I didn't have as a help desk team lead, as a manager, right? So that's first. Commitment though. So again, my 9 to 5, I'd be working, learning ServiceNow. Then I'd get home and starting to learn, how to code, how to, just keep repetition. You're not, if you really want to be a ServiceNow implementation specialist, expert, developer, architect, lights are just not going to click on automatically. Things are not just going to happen like that. It takes full dedication, commitment, and above and beyond your 9 to 5. I still do it today in different capacity, but, I've always just been committed. It's always been 9 to 5, get home, get back on the laptop. Take the classes, sign up for watch live streams like this. It's a full lifestyle. It's not just, oh, it's my job, for me anyways. Obviously, I don't expect everyone to be as committed as I am, but, it definitely takes a commitment level above just your job. But in this video, I do want to talk about some of the other steps of what it takes to be a great ServiceNow consultant. Being an expert, obviously, comes along with the commitment. Be fully committed. Be an expert. Don't pretend, right? You can't go into an engagement. If there's something you don't know, you got to be honest and say, you know what, I'm maybe not an expert in this 100%. Let me do some research, and I'll get back to you on that answer. Misleading a client is a big no-no in my book. You're better off just being honest. Look, this is not what I'm great at. This is what I am great at. So that's first. Obviously, you have to have the skill sets, right? But honesty is a very important part around that. Communication, right? So, things like simple stuff that on paper sounds very easy, but out in the field, you do see it time to time, and it's a very big pet peeve for me is communication, answering emails as quickly as you can, right? Our clients are relying on us to be, responsive, communicative. And so, responding to emails, having your phone available, being available, through whatever medium it may be is very, very important. Being prescriptive. So, a lot of times, again, our clients are looking for us as the experts and to leverage our expertise. And, a lot of times, yes, in ServiceNow, there may be 5 different ways to do something, right? Let's say, making a field read only, right? There's literally 5 different ways minimum to do that. But our customers are not relying on us to tell them all 5 different ways. They want to know the best way to do that, right? ACLs, right? I mean, if we're just doing it on the client side, I know it's a little technical, but if we're making a field read only on the client side, someone's going to be able to modify that field in a list of records, right? So we use security, dictionary, data policy, so I think in some engagements are a little bit different when you're dealing with a little bit more mature clients. But, in the long run, be prescriptive, be certain, make sure you're guiding your client to success, right? So that's number one is making sure you're putting them down the right path. And I think that flows into my next point of best practice. It's really, you have to get your client down the right path of best practice. Clients, again, because they don't know, and I've been one and I've done it myself, we tend to think, to over customize, over solution, because we think we want the best, and we do want the best, and we think sometimes an over customization is the way to go. But in the long run, you're doing them a disservice, because they're not going to be able to upgrade in the future. ServiceNow maybe roll out, if you're building something custom, ServiceNow may have that in a future release. So I think it's really, really important to follow best practices all the time. And to really, and it's an art form to really take a requirement from a user, and that maybe not be a best practice, and say, look, technically that's possible, we can do that, but here's the reason why we shouldn't, and here's a way we can do it that is a best practice, right? And I think it's getting you right where you need to be. So I think it's really an art form to get your user, your client, to really understand, or to take a requirement, tweak it, and also let them know that it's, we can do it your way, but here's a better way to do it. And I really think it's an art form. I've seen some people do it phenomenal, and I've seen some people not, do it not so well as well. Being available, being reliable, these things are so important, so important. Having, the reliability is the number one thing, and establishing trust. These are really, really important things. Being available for your client, again, like I said, via email, phone, whatever medium they're getting at you, be available for them and be reliable. If you're working multiple projects, you got to figure out the balancing act of making sure your client's getting the most they can from you. And that'll all equal success. So that was a quick little video for today. Thank you guys for joining. You can reach out to me at mike@glidefast.com. You can reach out to anyone at GlideFast at info@glidefast.com. And thanks so much.